Secret number 9. Choosing your destination. A successful and happy life requires that we devote ourselves to fulfilling a worthy life plan. If we do not consciously give our life purpose and direction, we will be like a ship without a captain to steer it, or a chart to direct its course. This kind of vessel is destined to end up shipwrecked on some desert island, or worse yet, sink to the bottom of the sea. In life, so many opportunities needlessly pass us by because we do not know where we are going. If we look carefully, we will observe that there is an intelligent force in the universe that is unfolding a master plan for creation. You and I are part of that plan. If we look at the stars, animal life, plant life, and the sea, it is easy for us to see that they are all components of a very orderly universe. Everything has a place and a reason for being. Projecting the macrocosm to the microcosm, it becomes obvious that you have a place where you and you alone fit in an orderly and desirable way. It may well be that your problems exist primarily because you are not in your right place. There are things you should be doing that you are neglecting or avoiding. You don't fully appreciate the fact that you are a unique individual with a special place to occupy and a purpose to fulfill. Your contribution to life may not seem great, but as part of the Supermeerchit's plan, you are nonetheless just as important as the most prestigious person you know of. Everything worthwhile that has happened throughout the ages is part of the unfolding master plan. All the world's great achievements in every field or endeavor have been made possible because individuals have listened to their inner guidance, which manifested a strong desire and inspired them to set out to achieve it. To others, these desires may have seemed impossible, but those who create have both purpose and direction. They realize that they are not merely corks floating aimlessly on an ocean, but individuals in full control of their destinies. Psychological studies and personal performance show that individuals who have a plan and goals for their lives are happier and more successful than those who do not. At this stage of your development, it is important for you to make a plan for your life, one which will utilize all your talents and abilities. You must take the time right now to figure out what you want to do and how far you want to go. Otherwise, like a ship without a captain, your life will end up shipwrecked. Look at each area of your life and design a plan as to where you want to go, what you want to do, and most importantly, how you want to be. If you do this, you will know if you are making progress. How can you possibly know if you are succeeding or making progress if you don't establish a goal or a destination? Once you begin doing this, you will discover the pleasure, satisfaction, and value of making detailed plans for the things you want to accomplish. One of the basic secrets in achieving our objectives is to break our big goals into a number of smaller ones. Nothing is really difficult if it is broken down into parts. As each part, each short-range goal becomes a reality, the satisfaction derived from its attainment is a spur to the next milepost. Failing to understand this principle, many people resist establishing large goals because the total effort involved in achieving them seems overwhelming. A single glass of water can form a dense fog. If you break down few water into 60,000 million drops, it can cover an entire city block and extend to a height of 100 feet. The same is true of your efforts. If applied each day, in the end, they will make equally as great an impression. In the game of goal setting, a 100% success rate is not a requirement. Even if you don't achieve everything you set out to do, you will still be further ahead than if you just did nothing, as is the case with so many people. It is a fact that goals, whether they are realized or not, constructively change people's lives. They direct our mental energy into positive channels. All it takes is to know what you want to have, what you want to achieve, and how you want to. What will you have? You can have anything in life if you will be definite about what you want. Most of the time, we are far too vague in identifying precisely what we want. Thus, many of our goals die in the realm of wishful thinking. People often say to me, "I don't know what I really want." This is just excuse for not getting started. To never make a decision is never to make a mistake. Their fear of rejection or failure and their need for approval hold them prisoners. Not to decide is to decide, for choice is inevitable. Not to choose success is equivalent to choosing failure. The problem with indecision is that it creates frustration. We know we should be doing something creative but, instead, settle for indecision and feelings of self-doubt and inadequacy. You will feel a tremendous surge of self-confidence and power if you take the time to choose a worthy goal and make a plan for your life. After selecting your goal, evaluate it before presenting the plan to your subconscious. Use the screening process below and ask yourself, 1. Do I really want this for myself, or is it something I think I should or ought to do? 2. Is it right according to my value system? 3. Do I believe it is possible for me? 4. Will I be a better person when I accomplish it? 5. Can I visualize it in all respects? 6. Do I have complete faith that the creative intelligence within me will assist me in bringing for my desire? If you answer yes to all of these questions, then your next step is to make plans. To do this, you must 1. Have a clear statement of your goal. Your subconscious responds when you are specific. 2. Have an exact date to begin your program. 3. Have an exact date you want to achieve your goal. 4. Have a written plan of action. 5. Have a schedule to periodically review your plans for changes and updating. 6. Carry a brief statement of your goal written on a small card in your pocket or purse. Look at it often each day, if possible. Have a picture of your goal on it as well. 7. Concentrate on one specific desire or challenge at a time. 8. Make up a positive affirmation or statement about your goal. 9. Always go to sleep picturing your goal. Get the writing habit. Most people do not bother to write down an exact description of what they want at one time. In my seminar work, I distributed worksheets, told people do this. Yet less than 5% ever actually used them. Most intellectually agreed that the idea was a good one, but felt the details involved were too much bother. They said it was not necessary because they could remember what they wanted. This attitude is one of the major reasons why only 5% of the people on this planet achieve their goals. They are the ones who are willing to write down their goals so that they can track their results. People say, I don't need to write it down, I can remember it. But can they? Can you? Let me give you an example. How much do you remember of what you read on the first 2 pages of the previous chapter? Don't worry about it, you can always go back and look at it. After all, it is written down in black and white. But why do all this? It is a psychologically sound principle that vision accounts for approximately 87% of your total sensory perception. Further, the kinetic energy from the act of writing down your plan impresses your subconscious deeper than if you just thought about it. Remember when you misbehaved in school and the teacher made you write something 100 times? The teacher knew that you would tend to remember what you wrote down. The subconscious mind catches up with written instructions, incorporating the information in the automatic structure of the brain and central nervous system, already making it a reality. You will find the following worksheet helpful in mapping out your creative plan of action. Direct Action Worksheet 1. This is my goal. Write a brief description, attach a sketch or picture if possible. 2. Why do I want this? How will I benefit? 3. What actions can I take to reach my goal? 4. Where can I get competent assistance and guidance? 5. Date I will begin my plan. 6. Date of intended completion. 7. I will revise and review on the following dates. 8. What should I do first? 9. Check when started or finished. Start, finish it, start, finish it, start, finished. 10. I must keep the following positive mental attitude. During this period, make a positive statement concerning how you feel you must act while you are working on your goals. Set goals in the 6 major areas of your life. You need to make plans for each of the 6 major areas of interest in your life. Start by using the following. Career. What do I want to accomplish as far as my work is concerned? Financial. Realistically, how much money do I want to consistently earn? Physically, what program for health and fitness do I want to develop? Mentally, in what areas of my life do I want to study and obtain more knowledge? Family. What relationships do I want to have and maintain with my family and mate? Spiritually. What do I want spiritually? These goals can be broken down into long-term and short-term goals. Make a list of your ultimate long-range goals and also the short-term goals you are going to act on right now. Give yourself a 5-year plan for growth. In addition to completing the Direct Action Worksheet, Take a blank piece of paper and write down a 5-year plan for growth. Call this My Blueprint of Destiny. On your blueprint, set down a plan which will involve new mental and spiritual viewpoints, new environment, new work, new friends, higher income, and a better standard of living. Make this an outline of the best life you can possibly imagine for yourself. Begin to look for related opportunities that will help you to reach your goals. And check your plan frequently to see that you are on the right path. Keep revising your blueprint for the rest of your life. Consider it an unfinished symphony, one of which you are constantly working on but determined to complete. You will be richly rewarded. Start where you are. One of the greatest discoveries you will ever make is to learn to live in the present moment. Now is the only time there is, yet we insist on wasting it by mentally living in a past we cannot change, or in a future which we long for or dread. In establishing your goals, you must be careful not to get caught in this trap. All consideration of yesterday must be expunged from your memory, and the future, which is not yet a reality, must not be ransomed. It must be free to use when it becometh present. Many people live in the future and neglect what should be done today. While planning for the future is vitally necessary, living in it online produces frustration, anxiety, and failure because, by doing so, one escaping from the present reality. To live a balanced and creative life, you must get into the habit of doing those things that are before you today. Strive for excellence. If you learn to perform your present task well, no matter how unpleasant it may be, you will have taught yourself a valuable lesson in personal growth. Although people often delude themselves into thinking that they can do a better job at something else, there is a universal principle which states that you will not be offered greater opportunities in life until you have proven that you are more than capable in handling your present life situation. Failure to perform your present actions efficiently and successfully will delay success, and may actually set in motion a situation that will cause you to go backwards. Do not try to escape from the present for a better future that does not yet exist. What you have to do right now is the most important thing you have to do. Not how much but how well. There is creative process that the universe is unfolding through us that far exceeds our outstanding. By learning to grasp the opportunities that are before us each day and handling them to the best of our ability, we are contributing and cooperating with the creative process. All that is required is that we do the best we can each day. It is not a matter of how much we do, but how well we perform each action. In other words, it is the quality of our actions that really matter. Getting your perspective with attainment of goals, as important they are, must not be permitted to overshadow or obscure their real objective, to give our life purpose and direction. That is why we must be careful not to let them lock us into the future and keep us from living in the now. After you have chosen your goals and set up a program of action, you must learn to relax and allow your new awareness to carry you forward, patiently doing what is necessary, first things first, with no fear or concern about what is going to happen in the future. As the spiritually oriented say, let go and let God. By so doing, you will be aligning yourself with reality and keeping yourself open to the inner guidance from within, which will show you each step of the way. Inner guidance is always available. Seek it out and use it. If you don't, your awareness may not yet have the wisdom to chart a course which is in full alignment with the creative plan for your life, and you will continue to be disenchanted and disappointed when things do not work out. When you make plans and set goals, ask for the wisdom to carry them out. Present the ideas you have consciously thought out and ask your superconscious mind to guide you in selecting the right one. You will soon get a feeling about what you should do. Trust your intuition. Remember, intuition cannot be wrong because it comes from higher intelligence. Once you receive intuition, act at once. Also leave yourself open for changes and new instruction along the way. The first move, however, must be yours. You will not be guided unless you demonstrate you want guidance. When seeking inner guidance in creating what you want, it is best not to ask for the specific thing you desire. Instead of asking for a new car, money, or a new home, ask for the wisdom necessary to create these things in your life. If your ambition is to be an artist, actress, business executive, or anything else, ask for the wisdom to guide you in achieving it. Wisdom will allow you to create anything you desire. You can pray your heart out, but even creative intelligence cannot violate its own law of creation. By gaining wisdom, will you know how to cooperate with the law to bring forth your desires? Go forward a step at a time and remain flexible to change. You may not reach your original goal, but, instead, may be guided to something better. In either case, you will experience a feeling of excitement and personal fulfillment. Instead of pushing yourself into a situation that will only cause you frustration and misery, your intuition will guide you to your right person, place, or circumstance where you can be supremely happy. Life can be compared to a train ride. If we want to go somewhere, all we have to do is to get on the train and stay there until we arrive at our destination. The train may stop or change tracks, but if we stay with it, we will eventually reach our destination. If we keep getting on and off, we may never get there. To reach your destination, you need to only four things. 1. Decide to get on the train. Choose your goal. 2. Choose the best possible route to get where you are going. The right plan. 3. Pay for your ticket. Be willing to pay the price for what you want. 4. Get on the train. Get into action. Your train is waiting right now. It's time to get aboard. You are where you want to be, like it or not. At this moment you are exactly where you want to be. Perhaps you are unhappy. You may have a job you hate, a marriage that is deteriorating, a love relationship that seems to be going downhill, or a family relationship that is unsatisfactory. Your future may look doubtful, but you, and you alone, have chosen, consciously or unconsciously, to allow yourself to be right where you are. The evidence indicates that you would rather be in your present situation than pay the price to change. Your spontaneous rebuttal may include such excuses as, "You don't understand, my situation is different, I'm trapped where I am. I want to straighten my life out, but I can't because." You may be quite sincere in these contentions, but the fact remains, you have permitted your present environment to limit your thinking. By choosing to let a person, circumstance, or condition dictate your happiness, you have given something outside yourself the power to control your life. In effect, you have declared that your situation is greater than the power within you to change it. Your subconscious has brought the negative affirmation you have developed and, as a result, is obediently delivering exactly what you asked for. Respond to life with action. What holds attention determines action. William James. A weak, timid, indecisive approach to life breeds inertia, failure, and disappointment. Many people fail to act because they are afraid to make a mistake or think that what they conceive can never become reality. Great inventions and discoveries go unrecognized when those behind them give up in despair, exclaiming, "My idea hasn't a chance." This attitude is tragic because the world needs what each one of us has to offer. Back in 1880, a man employed by the U.S. Patent Office handed in a letter of resignation. "Everything has been invented that could possibly be conceived of by man," he wrote, "and I see no future in my job." Don't be like this man. The future is full of unlimited opportunities for those who take action and turn their thoughts into realities. Fortune favors the bold. Remember this psychological truth: fortune favors the bold. You must conceive in your mind the world you want to live in, the situations you want to master, and the greatness you want to achieve. The ideas and concepts of releasing your unlimited potential can only be turned into reality if you take bold action now. Wishful thinking will not make your dreams come true. Learn this lesson from history: he who hesitates is lost. Undoubtedly, you could relate dozens of instances in your own life when you hesitated and lost, but you won't ever have to lose again. If you learn to take bold action, if you want to be free and build total self-confidence, your thinking must control your limitations instead of your limitations controlling your thinking. Look at your life for a moment. What do you see? Do you see opportunity, love, happiness, success, and fulfillment? Or have you mentally set up restrictive limitations? If so, the fact that you have declared yourself a prisoner will make you a prisoner. Once you make up your mind to be free and declare that you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, you will be motivated to make necessary moves toward liberation. The truth is, you will remain where you are only as long as you hold yourself prisoner. The interesting thing about this is that we do not have to be superhuman or extraordinary to break loose from our limitations. There is really no such thing as a great person. There are only ordinary people who have decided to do great things. These are people who are motivated by a burning desire to be free. In order to express their unlimited potential, each day they meet their problems head-on, overcoming them one at a time until they achieve their deepest desires. Instead of blaming others for their condition, they take action to change their situation. Apply this to yourself. Your personal freedom and innermost desires are waiting for you. But first you must stake your claim, making friends with failure. Failure is a necessary part of growth, yet it produces one of the strongest fears most people have. As a child, it didn't bother you if you were skating and fell down and bruised yourself. You got up and started to skate again. Did you consider yourself a failure every time you fell down? Of course not. Everything you learned as a child was learned by trial and error. Sometimes you were successful, and sometimes you weren't, if you aren't. You simply tried again until you got it right. You didn't condemn yourself or withdraw and resolve never to try it again. Failure was accepted as part of the growth process, unfortunately. Somewhere along your path of development, you picked up the idea that there is something wrong with failing. You became very much concerned about what others would think when failure occurred, even if you didn't take chances with your life. You felt you must always look good in the eyes of your family, friends, and society. You may have decided that the best way to avoid failure was to tackle only those things for which success was assured in advance. Since there is very little in life that we can be 100% sure of, your activities would necessarily be limited. This attitude probably had its genesis in your teens when you were striving for the acceptance of your peer group. Most teens would rather die than appear stupid, ridiculous, or fail in front of their peer group. During our teens, we spent a lot of time comparing ourselves to others. As we looked around us, it seemed that our peers always had assets we felt we didn't have. Therefore, in order not to expose ourselves to challenge and the possibility of failure, we began to withdraw. Failure was something that was avoided at all costs. Approval was our strongest motivation. As this habit pattern became impressed into our subconscious, our limited thinking made us a prisoner. In order to function, we created a comfort zone whereby we avoided unpleasant situations and established a routine that we felt comfortable with. Unfortunately, our comfort zone shuts off all the unlimited possibilities that exist outside it. If we are to break out of the comfort zone we created, we must make friends with failure. When we decide to give up our need for approval, it won't matter how many mistakes we make as long as we reach our ultimate goal. Thomas Edison conducted 10,000 experiments before inventing the light bulb. Undeterred, he didn't classify any of these experiments as failures. Instead, he said, he had successfully identified 9,999 ways his invention wouldn't work. What we are talking about here is persistence. This is the dynamic quality that separates the achievers from the non-achievers, and often, surprisingly, takes the place of intelligence, knowledge, education, and of an experience. Those who are persistent refuse to allow any person, circumstance, or condition to get in their way. An unknown writer put it this way: nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistency and determination alone are supreme. The law of expectancy, and time again, psychological studies have shown that the basic reason for a person's success is that he expected to succeed. Athletes who achieve success expect to win. Muhammad Ali was one of the greatest prizefighters of all time. In his usual outgoing way, he affirmed victory by stating, "When I win this fight, not if I win this fight." Now, that's total self-confidence. Aristotle said, "What you expect, that you shall find." Expectations control your life, so it is imperative that you control your expectations. If you expect the best, you will attract the best, but if you expect the worst to happen, be assured that it will. By permitting your life to be dominated by negative thought patterns, you form the habit of expecting negative results. Studies show that over 90% of the population has negative expectations. You may find this hard to accept, but the reason you grow old is because you expect to. You have been programmed to begin getting old. When you reach a certain age, at that point in time, you subconsciously light on the personality, dress style, and symptoms of old age. Elephants have an instinct that enables them to predict death. When they feel their time has come, they embark on a journey to the elephant's graveyard. The majority of people I know do about the same thing. Total self-confidence is built through positive expectations. You can build positive expectations by knowing that you have the power within to overcome any obstacle that lies ahead. So many people have a magnetic attraction to the past. They save mementos, clippings, old letters, and trivia. While there is nothing wrong with this, if you want to succeed, your mind must focus on where you are going, not to where you have been. Instead of saving mementos, clippings, old letters, and trivia from the past, it would be more productive to make a scrapbook with pictures of where you want to go and what you want to be in the future. Look forward to the future with expectations and then act enthusiastic. Enthusiasm is a powerful motivating force, and one of the great secrets of success, derived from two Greek words, en meaning in and theos meaning God. Enthusiasm means God in you. And it is this God power within you that will enable you to accomplish anything you desire if you release it through dynamic thinking. The margin of difference in actual skill, ability, and intelligence between those who achieve and those who fail is really quite small if two people are evenly matched. The one who is enthusiastic will find the scales tipping in his favor. Even an enthusiastic person with second-rate ability will often succeed where a person of first-rate ability, lacking enthusiasm, will fail. When Mark Twain was asked the secret of his success, he replied, "I was born excited." Thomas Edison said, "When a man dies, if he can pass enthusiasm along to his children, he has left them as a state of incalculable value." And Emerson, in his essays, observed, "Every great and commanding moment in the annals of the world is the triumph of somebody's enthusiasm." The respective life experiences of these men bear out their shared philosophy. When you expect something positive, through the law of attraction, just like a magnet, you will attract whatever you expect. Know that your expectations of today will be your life of tomorrow. The secrecy principle. None of your time should be spent in telling others what you are going to accomplish. To do so is another form of approval seeking. By disclosing your goals, you will dissipate valuable energy needed to accomplish them, as well as set up opposition from those who wish to control you. Most people will try to talk you out of your goals. They dislike seeing anyone having more or do better than they, and will resort to almost any extreme to put down someone who tries to break away from mediocrity. Don't give them a chance. Many would-be achievers have lost out before they even got started by letting others, particularly family members, talk them out of what they really wanted to do. Unless you are sharing a goal with someone else, it is best to keep it to yourself.